We are now live on YouTube and Facebook. Chairman, you have the floor.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Welcome to the meeting of the Administrative Operations Committee of the Public Building Commission of Chicago being held today, April 7th, 2026 at 2 p.m. Director Guerrero, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. Chairman Maldonado,
Here.
Commissioner Randall.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes held March 5th, 2026.
Move to approve.
Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is public participation in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Registered speakers will be allowed 2 minutes to provide comments.
Chairman, there's no speakers today.
Thank you, Mary Pat. Next item on the agenda is report by Director of Procurement, James Portman.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioner.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
I have two brief reports for you today. The first is our monthly task orders awarded against term contracts. We had a total of 3 task orders issued since our last meeting. The first was for the Title II transition plan. And that was for environmental renovation and demolition services awarded to Arcadis Inc. in the amount of $319,030.20. The second was for the Bobian Woods Boat Launch, Restroom, and Utilities project. That was again for construction material testing and inspection services. That was awarded to ATC Group Services doing business as Atlas Technical in the amount of $24,148 even. And the last was for the Chicago Public Safety Headquarters project. Again, construction material testing and inspection services. That was awarded to Seco Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $21,375 even. Any questions on the task orders? All right. My next report is a request from CCS International, which provides cost estimating services to us, to be acquired by Concertus Inc. and change their name to CCS International LLC. CCS International was awarded a contract to perform cost estimating services on various aspects, as well as several other items, control estimates, bid tabulation reviews, if we ever wanted them to, as well as cost change order analysis back in 2018. They've done an excellent job in that contract. Recently, they were approached by Concertus, and after changing their names to CCS International LLC and an all-stock deal, they were acquired. So, as required under their task order-based master agreement, they require board approval for this acquisition, let's call it, name change and acquisition. They've committed to keeping all the same staff, meeting all of their same goals and requirements that we have in their existing contract. Although this may have a detrimental effect on their WBE status, they're still considering a way in which they can still reach out to minority and women-owned businesses to continue to utilize firms that are still certified under their existing agreement with us. So we don't have any problem with it. We did due diligence checks on the firm that is the sole stock owner now, Concertus Inc., and didn't find any reason not to recommend approval of the acquisition and assignment. Happy to answer any questions.
So they were MBE, but with this acquisition that makes them they're no longer certified, or it remains to be seen.
Unfortunately, in my analysis, they were a little gray on it, but what we discovered in the review was, as the result of the large takeover, Concertus is not a certified MBE firm, and this is not a construction contracting firm. This is a professional service provider. So from our understanding, they would no longer qualify as an MBE firm.
Okay. They will have the same staff.
They will continue with the same, they agreed to not just continue with the same staff, but to, in an attempt to rectify the MBE deficiency, reach out to smaller firms to utilize them where able.
Okay. And we have other firms that do this consulting workforce. Are any of them M or WB?
They are, yes. So we have 5 cost estimating firms. So 4?
Yep,
Four
CCS,
cost estimating.
RLB, V Star, and Concord.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? That concludes my report.
Move to accept the report.
Reports are accepted. Next item on the agenda is report by Executive Director Ray Gooderl.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the field order activity report today, there are 3 projects and 2 of those projects in which those field orders exceed our reporting threshold. The first project is the Kenwood Academy Link and Mechanical Project. It is PCO number 21 in the estimated value of $48,070. That field order was previously approved by our client CPS for issuance. This field order is related to addressing ADA non-compliant matters along with complying with CPS's construction standards. They include addressing some exposed ductwork, providing storm trap and vent enclosures, partition revisions, painting in specific areas, and furnishing and installing 1-hour rated assemblies by CPS's architect. And that PCO is designated as a type E&O-A list and will allow our client to address that with their architect. The work is ongoing, and upon completion, I will provide you with an update. The second PCO is number 22 for the same project. Estimated value of $27,049.70. That field order was previously approved by our client CPS in March. It is to provide all the labor and material required to remove and replace a top section of existing collapsed catch basin along with that precast structure. The work has not commenced yet, pending favorable weather conditions. It is scheduled to start this week, and I can provide an update on that as needed as well. The second project is the Beaubien Woods Boat Launch Restrooms and Utilities. There are 2 field orders that exceed our reporting threshold. The first one is PCO number 2 in the estimated amount of $34,916.56. That field order was previously approved by the Forest Preserve District of Cook County on March 20th. And this is to provide all the labor and material to provide a septic tank system at specific locations. The next one is item 3A or PCO 3A in the estimated value of $52,103.95. That field order was also approved by our client on March 20th for issuance. And this has to do with installing the appropriate infrastructure required by ComEd in accordance with its service entrance location agreement. That work is underway. ComEd is scheduled to be on site later this month, and the work is planned for completion in June as planned. That concludes my report on field orders, and if it's okay, I can move on to change orders. Thank you. There are 2 change orders to report on this cycle. One is for the Kenwood Academy Link and Mechanical Project in the final change order amount of $4,303.45. And that has to do with revisions to the exterior ramp design and foundation revisions that we previously reviewed as a PCO. The work is complete. The work was completed with our client's concurrence, in fact. The next change order is for the Forest Preserve District Cook County Restroom Rehabilitation District wide. And there's a lot of parts to this change, so I'll explain it. The final change order amount is $142,829.01. This has to do with revisions to the existing water pressure tanks at 8 locations at Bussey Woods and replacement of the existing water pressure tanks. If you recall, this project had a total of 14 locations. 9 of them were at Bussey Woods, 5 of them are at Dan Ryan. This change affects only those projects at Bussey Woods. So I'll go through them. At Bussey Forest Central Grove number 4, There is a new fiberglass pressure tank being installed at Bussey Reservoir Grove 17. It's plumbing infrastructure work only. At Bussey Boating Center, there is a new fiberglass pressure tank being installed. At Bussey Forest Main Dam Grove number 26, it's plumbing infrastructure work only. At Bussey Forest Main Dam Grove number 27, there is a new pressure tank being installed. At Bussey Elk Pasture, a new pressure tank is being installed. At Bussey Reservoir Boat Deck Grove number 24, it's plumbing infrastructure work only. And at Bussey Forest West Grove number 31, also a new pressure tank. That work was directed by our client and the work is complete. That concludes my report on our change order activities. If it's okay, I can move on to.
I just had a question.
Yes,
about the
sir.
last one. So were they thinking, or was the thought that the existing pressure tanks would suffice, and then once you got in there, you realized that you need to replace them?
Yes,
Okay, because those are all older
yes.
facilities. Yeah.
So where only the infrastructure work was required, that's what was addressed.
Okay.
So with our considerations regarding budget,
Mhm.
we wanted to make sure that we're efficient
Yeah.
with what is being specified or what's being discovered. And that's happening throughout the different facilities that we're working on out there.
And does new sort of piping or whatever pipes connect to those pressure tanks, that says all that being replaced as well?
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be a new assembly with
Yeah.
the tank or replacement of the existing assembly.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? No. Okay, if I may.
Go ahead.
All right, brief update regarding our recent and upcoming activities. On March 18th, PBC attended Department of Procurement Services 2026 City of Chicago Construction Summit at the UIC Forum. The event provided an excellent opportunity for us and our partners to share information regarding the status of our current and upcoming work. We were honored to join the panel discussion alongside Commissioner Randy Connor from the Department of Water Management, Deputy Commissioner Frank Grimaldi from the Department of Aviation, and Commissioner Craig Turner from the Department of Transportation. Of course, special thanks to DPS's Chief Procurement Officer, Charlotte Roberts, for inviting us and allowing us to be part of that panel discussion. Also on March 18th, PBC, in partnership with the 7th Ward Alderman Gregory Mitchell, CDOT, Park District, Millhouse Engineering, and WSP USA hosted a community meeting at the Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Academy. The meeting focused on the feasibility study that we're currently working on, assessing restoration improvements along the Lake Michigan shoreline between 71st to 75th Street, and provided community members with an opportunity to learn about the project, offer feedback, and engage directly with the project team. On March 19th, the PBC hosted a quarterly update meeting with Alderman Jason Irvin. Representatives from the Department of Fleet and Facility Management and Path Construction participated, and our discussions centered around the EMS Addition project located at 701 North Kilbourne. On March 24th, PBC hosted its 9th quarterly Assist Agency Conference. Representatives from the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, U.S. Minority Contractors Association, Women Construction Owners and Executives, the Hispanic American Construction Industry Association, and the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council, Unidos in Construction, and Hire 360 attended. PBC provided information regarding upcoming procurement opportunities, continued support from minority and women-owned businesses, and ongoing collaboration with all of the assist agencies. We remain committed to being accessible to the assist agencies and their membership, which include contractors, vendors, suppliers, particularly M&WBE firms. We've already scheduled our next assist agency conference for June 23rd of this year. On March 26th, PBC attended a community meeting in partnership with 3rd Ward Alderman Pat Dow and the Burling Builders Design Build team regarding the new Chicago Department of Family and Support Services Bronzeville Regional Senior Center project. The meeting was held at Mount Pisgah Missionary Baptist Church located at 4622 South King Drive. A follow-up community meeting is in fact scheduled on April 29th. On March 31st, an in-person community hiring event was held at Kennedy King College for the City Colleges of Chicago Nursing, City Colleges of Chicago School of Nursing project. with an additional virtual community hiring session underway, in fact, today. Finally, a reminder regarding our upcoming third annual connection session scheduled on May 14th, 2026 at Malcolm X College. The event, as always, will provide attendees with information regarding PBC's upcoming opportunities and encourage industry networking with contractors, professional service providers, assist agencies, and M&WBE firms, subcontractors, vendors, and suppliers, and of course, a strong focus on our ongoing student hiring initiative. And that concludes my report.
Move to accept the report.
Reports are accepted. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.